Park. The World Cup comes to Wales, one of the heartlands of rugby, primarily the Union Code, of course, but the deeds of the League boys who won the European Championship last year has really fueled the enthusiasm in the 13-a-side game.
Ladies and gentlemen,
And we now have the national anthems. French anthem, and there is good support for the French here at Ninian Park tonight. That's why we've got a 15-minute delay to get everybody in who wants to see the game. They always sing with gusto in Wales, and it's nice to soak in the atmosphere here of a big Welsh night at Ninian Park. The Dragons, the Red Dragons, led by their captain Jonathan Davies, and there are some famous names in this Welsh side here tonight, none greater than that of their captain Jonathan Davies, set to be preparing for a switch back to rugby union with Cardiff. Also in the front row there, the Wigan Colossus, Kelvin Skerritt, and his Wigan colleague, the hooker, Martin Hall. Other famous names there include Scott Gibbs in the centre, now with St Helens, Alan Bateman from Warrington, John Devereux from Widnes, and at fullback, what a test for the 19-year-old Iestyn Harris, a British student just a year ago. Now the French also have a trio of players currently plying their trade in the English game. Winger Frederick Fanquet is with Featherstone Rovers, centre David Price with Workington Town, and second row Gail Telek is yet another with Wigan. They've actually got 16 representatives in this World Cup. Valero at 13 and Patrick Ontart, the captain, who wears 7, have both passed fitness tests. The Welsh on the bench have had to make a late change, as you've heard, with Mark Jones replacing the expectant father Neil Cowie. And the French, they too have had to bring in Brian Collis into the pack as a result of an injury to Stefan Millet. Alex Murphy, as always, alongside me as we just have a look at the Australian referee, Eddie Ward from Brisbane. This is a big match in what they're calling the Group of Death.
Which is very, very important. This game is called the Group of Death, but just listen to the crowd. The crowd are really going to get behind the Welsh lads tonight, and it's going to be important because this is going to be a very, very tricky game.
It's probably the most open game, although we saw a fantastic game last night. You wouldn't care to predict the outcome of this one. Everybody predicted a New Zealand win, which is just how it turned out last night. But this is a real 50-50 game.
Yes, it is, and it's the likes of Jonathan Davies and Devereux and Moriarty, you know, how they kind of produce. People like Iestyn Harris and Anthony Sullivan. There's plenty good players on view, but they must not take this French side for granted.
Yes, my old pal Terry Holmes in the studio might have disagreed with what I said there about it being 50-50, but I think you were speaking before the game to Mike Nicholas and Clive Griffiths, and they know it's quite a test.
Well, I think the Welsh lads realise that whoever wins this game could go forward and win the group, so they know how important it is for both teams.
Both of them have Western Samoa to come. The French play them here on Thursday. The Welsh play them at the Vetchfield at Swansea on Sunday. And possession straight away for Iestyn Harris, this young and exciting fullback. He was runner-up in the Young Player of the Year award last year.
I think they've had a problem with Iestyn Harris, finding a position for him. He can play fullback, he can play centre, he can play standoff. He's just a great player, the kid.
Well, they'll be expecting a lot from the second row men tonight. That was Paul Moriarty following up the run from Mark Perritt just before that. And they've a big pack, the Welsh, with Kelvin Skerritt there, who's played 16 times for Great Britain, leading the way. There he is, on cue. And David Young too, he's adapted well to the game of rugby league. Well, he was flattened there after getting rid of the ball, Davis. And he's going to be a marked man, all right, that's for sure.
Well, I think it needs to no introduction, Jonathan Davis. The French also know that he could be the danger man, and they're going to leave him in no uncertain terms.
That was a bad spill, and it means that we're going to have the first scrum of the evening. The French putting the ball down, that means the Welsh have the put in and a good attacking position for them.
Yes, and it's so important what Jonathan Davis does tonight. He's a great player. If he runs with the ball, there could be anything happen.
Scott Gibbs, Bateman at his shoulder as well. He's gone the other way this time, skipping away Kevin Ellis from acting half-back, a man who's played in every one of the Welsh team's internationals. Skerritt's so close to the line, he's like a bulldozer, this fellow. He can't get in for the moment. Paul is acting half-back. He'll swing the ball out wide. Ellis again, caught up in a two-man tackle, didn't release the pass. There's still tackles to come, and Moriarty drives in, and look how close he is on the last tackle. And the Welsh are really roaring. I think some of them thought they got a try there. A bit premature, but that was slack play, and when the ball goes back, it will be picked up by a French hand eventually, and play will resume through full-back Despard. Good early pressure from Wales.
Yes, and tremendous excitement in the crowd also. I think the Welsh crowd actually thought that Wales had scored then. It was very, very close indeed, but he was just about half a yard short.
We have the benefit of monitors, of course. The crowd don't. That's happened with the day when everybody in the crowd is issued with his own personal monitor.
Yes, well, I hope they don't start giving the players them.
Not on the wrist. French moving forward without Daniel Dive this evening. That was Tuxedo, number 10, and this kick is Anthony Sullivan just allowing it to run. Keeps the ball in play, however. Forced to the tackle of Chamaron. Put away by Bateman to Harris.
I think there's plenty pace in the Welsh three-quarter line, and I think that's what they'll be seeing tonight, hoping that the Welsh forwards will lay a platform for the Welsh backs, because there's plenty pace in there. Offside
given, so the first penalty of the night taken by Jonathan Davis for Wales, and he's pumped it halfway inside the French half, and we're going to see some more Welsh pressure applied now.
And it's nice to see Jonathan, isn't it? He'll want to kind of bow out with a big game, because if he is going to leave Rugby League, what nicer way to go to the finals of the World Cup.
Very much so. Hall and dummy half. He did everybody by going right instead of left. Now it's Kevin Ellis, looks for Skerritt in there, supporting. Didn't give him much hope, really, with that pass. Big fella, though, Kelvin Skerritt, and Bexham stopping close to the line. Ellis again. He's been playing out in Australia. Davis, they certainly know about Jonathan Davis, the man who holds the Welsh point-scoring record in a game, and he's going to get an early opportunity of points when he imagines here.
Yes, and it's a very, very important kick and all. Ernie Ward just got one of the French lads for a little bit of a dig on the floor on Jonathan Davis. I don't think it was anything too serious, but Mr. Ward, oh, well, he tried and missed. I don't think it was that serious. Penalty anyway.
Against Valero.
I think he must have realised, here's Kevin Ellis. It's a beautiful ball to Jonathan Davis. Just look how quick this fellow is. Lightning.
So the chance is going to be here for the first points of the night for Wales, who've had a very good record here in Cardiff. I mean, last year, for example, they beat England 18-16 here.
I think there's a lot of confidence in the Welsh squad. I think they're quietly confident. They'd like to go a long way in this competition.
Well, as we saw last night with Tonga, nobody should be underestimated. Here comes Jonathan Davies. He's got the poise. Has he got the precision? It's straight through the middle. The first points of the night go to the golden boot of Jonathan Davies. Wales 2, France 0. Just the start that Mike Nicholas and Clive Griffiths were hoping for.
Well, it's a nice feeling, isn't it, just to put yourselves in front, just to nose in front. And there's one good thing about this fella: when he gets goal kicks in that position, you can really put your mortgage on the kick.
Great catch from Moriarty. He looks very fit, as the fella.
Well, he's a very, very big man, and he's got a lot of pace. And I think that's what you'll see with the Welsh side. The forward just driving in 2 or 3 drives, and then the backs just doing the rest.
That's right. And talking of that, the crowd enjoyed that, didn't they? His feet were going like a pair of scissors almost at full stretch.
Looked like one of the red guards running in then, Calvin Skerritt. I don't know about an English forward.
Now Hall, terrific burst from the Wigan man. He really has come on a pace since he took over the Wigan job from Martin Dermott.
Yes, another world-class player, Martin Hall. He's worked very hard to get in that position.
Davies, that's a real bomb. And they'll be queuing up under this one, and it's missed. There must be a scoring chance. They're just going to run out of play beyond the grasp of Mark Perry. Well, what a good kick from Davies.
Well, it was a great kick, and it obviously came down with snow on it. But I think if Anthony Sullivan had stayed on the wing, you just watch Anthony Sullivan coming in here. I think if he'd stayed on the wing, he might have taken that ball, because it was a clear run into the line if he had have done. The ball, it's a magnificent kick. There's this one thing about this fella: when he puts the ball up, he definitely goes into space.
Too much space as it turned out. So France start again with hooker Patrick Doré. The French have improved, no doubt about it. I mean, 2 or 3 years ago they really were lame ducks, and I mean they've improved tremendously since then.
Oh yes, I think they had big problems, and there was a question about their international future. You know, a lot of teams were saying, are they going to be strong enough to play in this kind of competition? But they went to New Zealand, they regrouped, and they got a good result in New Zealand. They got a draw out there and should have won the next game.
Smashing little kick from Patrick Ontat. There's another who has played in England at both Hull and Leeds. He's currently back home with Avignon.
Yes, and I don't think you're lacking with this fella. This fella's a very, very good player. He'll be leading from the front, this fella. He's a good, solid scrum half.
Wales have it. Tom Devereux keen to make his mark on the game early. Richie Ayres, formerly Widnes, now Leeds, complains that the ball was knocked from his grasp. Now, what's Mr. Ward's decision? Was it illegal or is it a scrum?
Well, I think he's right in there, you know, Eddie Ward. I think he had his instructions from the linesman. I don't think there's any doubt about it. I think Richie Ayres just dropped the ball. It was an accident, and I think he was quite right.
I think he was looking for an excuse, wasn't he, Ayres?
Well, he just lost the ball, and like I say, he did consult with the toucher, so I think that was a good decision.
Ontat. Now, this is the first time, really, and
oh, dear me.
What's going on there?
Well, there's one good thing about the French. Even they don't know what they're doing at times.
No, they certainly didn't there. They've done again a wild ball flung out. It's been a rather scrappy opening, really. Yes,
and really, when you come to think, I mean, that was a terrible waste of a kick at goal. I mean, he's the 2-0 down, just watch the ball, he never looks where he's passing. The prop forward overruns the ball, and that's really some sloppy play from France.
So Wales will have the opportunity again now to run it, and they've got the players to run from deep. Of that there is no question, and one of them here is Sullivan, the St Helens man whose father Clive was the captain the last time Great Britain won the World Cup.
Yes, and I think Anthony Sullivan would love to score a try like his father scored. You know, the full length of the field, he's got the capability to do that.
again, there's some poor passing there, which is why the move broke down. But one thing last night in the game we saw between New Zealand and Tonga, there weren't many bad passes, and there were certainly no bad tackles all night.
No, there was a lot of commitment. I mean, that was a tremendous game. But this is a kind of a different kind of a game, because I think a lot of the Welsh lads will not have played together for a long time, and they're playing a side of France who unpredictable, and how they play, anybody's guess.
So on the fifth tackle from Paul, across the line to Davis. Can he hoist that kick high, but too long.
Yes. I think he'll be a bit disappointed with that, John. Really, that was a kick where it never went anywhere. It was always going dead.
2-0 though, France behind after 10 minutes and in possession. Usually has the Crocs, Cabastani and Tuxedo to run the ball out.
Okay, roll off for the ball.
From Telek, Wigan man, through from Antat. Lovely break made by Faget, and Faget keeps going as well, and he gets Antat over his shoulder, and then the ball goes to ground, and Wales have escaped. But that was a lovely break by Faget.
Yes, and that was also a lovely tackle by Scott Gibbs. It was a tremendous cover tackle. It looked as though the French had split the Welsh defence wide open and are trying to cover. Just look at the tackle from Scott Gibbs. Right from behind. This is one hell of a tackle here. Wow.
Classic. The game is not all about attacking, scoring tries.
Oh no, this is a big fella. He's a very, very strong lad, and he's improved no end since turning to rugby league.
Still no tries on the board. The only points we've had so far a Jonathan Davies penalty goal. And as a result of that, it's Wales who lead 2-0. Kelvin Skerritt, predictably the first man in. He wants the ball.
I think Di Skerritt's become a favourite here, John.
Ellis skips away, and he's made a break, and Kevin Ellis looks for the support. Wasn't quite there that time. It might be here now if they can spread it wide. There's plenty of bodies moving around down the... Davis can't elude the marker who grabbed him, dragged him by the scruff of the neck. That was a vital tackle on Davis. Devereux, keen for the ball, gets past the first tackle, cuts inside. John Devereux still going. Big hero down this part of the world, yes, Devereux.
He's also a very, very good player.
Davis gives it to Ayres now. 5 tackles, this is the last one. Paul tries to burrow his way through, just unable to do so. It's not often you get away with that.
No, I think if there's a problem with Wales at the moment, they're probably trying a little bit too hard. I think you have Richie Earge who just puts the ball forward and looks as though, well, it's Martin Hall actually, and it was never on.
Still no try scored. Answer. French were beaten 22-10 by Wales last year in Carcassonne, so that's very much uppermost in Welsh minds that they've got the beating of this team. Just 1 point on the board as early as possible. Got some big fellas and some willing runners as well, and the ball fits through the hands there from Cabastani to Telek, and they're showing some enterprise on attack. And here goes Chamaran now, switched out to Garcia. One from the loose forward, Valero, and it's the French who've got opportunities this time. Oh, yeah. And arms are raised around Ninian Park because Moriarty has his hands on the ball, but Mr. Ward says that it touched the hand, and he's going to award the foot into France on the 25.
Well, I think what he said is that there was a Welsh hand in there somewhere. I mean, it was. I don't think we actually witnessed that, but having said that, it just shows you what nice little touches when the French do put the ball together. They do some nice things.
Antat. Faget's look good, and here's a storming run from the fullback. Despard brought to ground no more than 10 yards out. This is good stuff from the French now. They're looking likely. Garcia's got involved as well. He was standing and he was looking, trying to get that pass away. Torre, Antat, cross for Faget. Just looking for a chink in the Welsh armour here, and they'll have the first try of the night. This is the big prop, Cabastani. They didn't show much imagination that time. Perhaps this from Torre. Always look for Onsat, and he's put a little grubber quick in. Oh, and a fumble there by David Brace with the line no more than a couple of yards away.
Well, I think David Brace really knew that he took a chance. A lovely little grubber kick from Patrick Tenkart, but David Brace was about 3 or 4 yards offside. It was nice if he get away with it.
David Brace, who sat spells at Sheffield and Bradford, but now he's with Workington Town. Skerritt again brings a roar from the crowd. Now Perrett gets over halfway. Well, the promise has been there for tries, but we've not had one as yet. Richie Ayres.
Yes, I think there's a lot of one-man football coming from the Welsh side. I think they'd be a lot better if you just kept the three quarters involved in this game.
Now it's a burst again from Moriarty. He looks particularly eager.
Big, strong lad.
And now it's out wider, and here goes Gibbs, and Scott Gibbs on the burst, takes the whole team on. Terrific effort from Gibbs, and he's just held up. He's a yard out, no more. The crowd in front of us keep thinking that Wales have scored when they haven't done. Penalty's been given, has it? And Davis tries to funnel his way over. The crowd here in front of us are really confused by the try line.
He must kick a goal. Jonathan Davis is not dreaming of taking a tap penalty.
No, surely not.
There's the run from Scott Gibbs. That was very, very close indeed. The crowd again thought that Scott Gibbs had scored, but he was about a yard short.
Yes, he was. But it's strange that, Alex, that these people in front of us just leap up every time they get to within a yard and believe they've scored.
You see Scott Gibbs here, he's a very difficult man to pull down. He's very, very strong. Everybody in the ground thought he scored, but I can assure you he's still a good yard short.
But it should still lead to a 4-point advantage for Wales from the penalty kick to come. Scott Gibbs there, 24, ex-Swansea Rugby Union man who missed much of last season with a shoulder injury. This should be simple enough. That's it. 4-0 it is. All going right for the Welsh so far. They'd prefer a try on the board, but they've got 2 critical penalty goals.
Yes, and I think Jonathan Davis again in that position. I was very, very surprised. He was almost going to take a quick tap.
Yeah, it was a curious one, wasn't it? However, they've got the 4 points. France have not registered as yet.
No, and the good thing about this game is that the Welsh crowd are getting behind the Welsh lads, and everything that's done they appreciate.
Yeah, there's not a bad crowd here, Alex. Not bad at all. Here is Gibbs. I think he could be a big hero tonight. He's full of running. He's a strong boy, isn't he?
Well, he's a very, very strong player, Scott Gibbs, and he's had a few injuries in the last couple of months. He'd want to get this game under his belt.
Very much so. Kevin Ellis is a critical man as well, and Moriarty makes the break. He broke the tackle. Devereux can't quite break the tackle that came in on the substitute. Hollis, who's come on for France, unbeknown to most of us. Now it's Jonathan Davis looking for a gap, not able to find one.
I think there's been 1 or 2 videos about Jonathan Davis, because every time he gets the ball he's getting a lot of quick attention.
He is. He did right from the off, didn't he? That's Ayres going cross-field. Ellis, and he'll go for an ambitious drop, and I think it's wide of the left-hand upright, a long way wide, but it just shows how much kicking is going to play a part in the Welsh strategy tonight.
Well, I don't think he can lose anything by that, Kevin Ellis. The ball was obviously 30 yards out, and he thought it was the last one.
Now they do have a chance. The crowd again were roaring, and they all stand up in front of us. Sullivan with a running chance, and now Ayres, and he'll drive in here with Richie Ayres, and he's just held up in the tackle of Bonke. Hall is acting half-back. They want that first try to Wales, badly. Cross it comes here to the fullback Harris. Nice little back flip from him to Devereux. Then Scott Gibbs. French tackling team this time.
Isn't it? It's pretty good, the French covering. They're getting back and supporting the man with the ball. It looks as though the Welsh are going to score, and then all of a sudden the Welsh body appears.
Well, they've got 6 more tackles. I think it touched the French hand there. And so Davis with a reverse ball again for Gibbs. All a little bit predictable at the moment.
Yes, there's plenty of the Welsh three-quarter line screaming for the ball wide.
And now it is coming wide. Harris into the line. Gets it away for Kevin Ellis again. Kevin Ellis, who's just had a spell with the New Queensland Cowboys. Alan Bateman now, and he's going to drive in close to that line, and he's up to the last line of defence almost, provided by Banque. Ellis now, and Moriarty goes charging in, and again he's so close to that line. Is he over Moriarty? They wait for the referee. No, again he's not there. Again think that he is, and he's not. Most extraordinary this. We obviously haven't learnt what a try is here yet. The ball is kicked through and it's into French hands. And
I think again that was a little bit of bad play from the Welsh. They're so anxious to score and please this crowd. I think they thought that Moriarty was over again, but I can assure you, again he was still a yard short.
A psychological ploy from this Welsh crowd, I think.
Well, it was a good decision by Eddie Ward. He looked at the in-goal judge, and obviously he could see from that position, and he ruled no try.
Grace at the long striding centre. And Chamaran carrying him clear. The French managed to relieve the pressure by getting the ball up over the 25.
The thing when you think about the French is you think they're down and out, and all of a sudden they come back with something.
Very much so.
And this is the drive from Moriarty. You can see him. He looks for all the world as though he'd scored, but just short.
A good decision by the referee, Eddie Ward from Australia, but Moriarty is well fired up tonight.
Yes, he's having a very, very big game. He looks as though he's pumped up for this game.
Midway through the first half, Wales lead France by 4 points to 0. In the Halifax World Cup. A World Cup which is certainly excited with England's win over Australia at Wembley on Saturday, and then Fiji's sparkling performance against South Africa, and the best match of all last night between New Zealand and Tonga.
I think it'll be very interesting if Wales do manage to win this one tonight. They've got another very interesting game against Western Samoa at home again, so really they've got everything to play for.
Yep, and you'll see it's all on live sports. Bringing you all the World Cup action. Here's Artat looking for that gap, surrounded by red jerseys. Funneled away from Valero. And a huge one hoisted by Banque. Not a bad kick either, and he follows up, and it's going to come loose. Oh, and it's gone into Welsh hands, Anthony Sullivan, but the referee had already indicated the handover.
But again, John, that was very, very close indeed here. Justin Harris never takes his eye off the ball, but it's a good chase by France. And here, I think if he just picks the ball up, that could have been a try.
Yeah, it's a great kick from Banque. Proves he can hoist them as high as Jonathan Davis.
Yes, I think they've all been doing their own work.
There goes Young. David Young, the Salford prop forward. Out to Skerritt from Hall. He swatted him off like a fly there.
Yes, he's a big man, Calvin Skerritt. And here we have a penalty for interfering on the floor.
Still, they want to set up the platform for a try. It's a very different game to any that we've seen so far.
Yes, I think what Wales have got to do, I think they've got to settle down a little bit more. I think they're actually panicking when they get the ball. When they get near the line, they're not thinking about things before they do it.
Well, we go through, get the basics right in this game. And the rest will follow. Now Perrett, who's really come on leaps and bounds in the last 2 seasons with Halifax.
Yes, and I think, John, from these positions, this is where they should be, putting moves on and running with the ball, different angles, and dropping little short balls off.
Ayres is the one running with it now. Oh, and it's left by one to the other. And finally, Kevin Ellis picked himself up, darted away. Didn't get very far, though. And there was a bit of confusion there between Ellis and Hall. Hall's in there again. Now it's Jonathan Davis. Moriarty coming off him. Moriarty. He just takes some stopping, and if he picks himself up here, well, I thought he was a certain scorer if he did. But that's how close the Welsh are to this first try. It's proving elusive, but the ball is handed off for Alan to Wales, and it goes to Anthony Sullivan. Remember, his dad Clive was the captain the last time Great Britain won the World Cup. Now it's his son who's the hero.
Yes, and we did say when the Welsh moved the ball out wide, a beautiful ball by Jonathan Davies here. Iestyn Harris, Bateman, simple chance for Sullivan, but that's what the Welsh lads needed. It was a very, very well worked try. Lovely hands, quick hands, a beautiful ball from Jonathan Davies. There's no doubt about it. Alan Bateman slips it out. Sullivan, try. I think he'll be pleased with that because it's a nice thing for him to do. He likes to do well down in Wales. He's, like you say, his father scored a magnificent try in France to win the World Cup for England, and if he can do that for Wales, he'll be just as proud.
It's a perfect try, really. The ball moving right along the line. All the backs involved. Moriarty there has had a big game. He's been the one who's been driving them in, and it was his drive for the line which set up the ultimate try.
Well, it's very, very important. I mean, Anthony Sullivan is getting a great response from the crowd, and if Jonathan Davies kicks this goal as well, it'll just put the icing on the cake.
It will take Wales 10 points clear if he does. As you can see, he's right out on the touchline, but it's the right side for a right-footed kicker. Hopes to curl it in, but I'm afraid not one of his better efforts. A shake of the head. Sorry about that, he says. It's Wales 8, France 0, and here again that Anthony Sullivan try.
It's just quick hands, isn't it? It's a beautiful ball off Bateman. He draws the French player in. Lovely ball to Sullivan, and he'll score then any day of the week.
Any day and every day. But it's Monday night here at Ninian Park, and with 26 minutes of the first half gone, Wales have a clear advantage. The French are not going to lie down.
Well, we did say that the Welsh lads, all they had to do was settle down a little bit. They've got a lot of ability in the three-quarter line. They've got a very, very solid pack, and really, you've just not got to panic.
They do have a lot of ability. Here's one of them, Alan Bateman. When you think that the likes of Jonathan Griffiths, Gerald Cordell, Gareth Stevens, Paul Atchison can't get into the team.
No, they've a lot of potential now in the squad. They've got a very, very strong squad. Clive Griffiths has worked hard with these lads, and they're looking for some big results.
Good effort that from Alan Bateman, 30 now. Another who's had experience over in Wales, Victor Nella. And the crowd are getting right behind the Welsh Dragons now.
Well, I can see him. If Kelvin Skerritt keeps on playing like he is doing, they're not letting him leave Wales.
Another bomb from Davis, and a nice safe catch this time from Jean-Marc Garcia.
A little bit unorganised, the Welsh performance at the moment. One-man football, just driving the ball in, and really they've got to get a little bit better organised than this.
From Torre. Now Anta. And this is a fellow who's got some pace. Second row man, Pascal Jeanpi from Saint-Estève. Scored of the kick. Standoff half has looked likely at times, and now they do have a little bit of space down on this right touchline for Garcia, but forward pass was given, and they can't fritter opportunities like that.
No, it was definitely a forward pass. I don't think he was too pleased about it. It was just about half a yard, nothing much more, but not too happy about it. The referee was dead right.
And from Chamara. So the ball back with Wales and with Mark Perrin. Again, he always looks capable of making a break.
Yes, I think what the Welsh side are doing, they're beating the first man and just failing to, the possession out wide.
You're not surprised when someone like Skerritt beats the first man with that sort of power coming at you. Now along the line from Moriarty. This is good play. Devereux tries to come inside off the pass from Gibbs. Again Moriarty, Ellis, Davis, Harris. He switches direction, but runs straight into a Frenchman, Didier Cabastani. So Jonathan Davis with that reverse ball. Richie Ayres, and Richie Ayres straightens up. This is a promising platform again, but it's the last tackle. Now then, will he go for the drop goal? Yes, he will. Jonathan Davis, straight back off a French hand, and that means they'll have 6 more from here. And Scott Gibbs will drive in, and Scott Gibbs has the pace. And the French have got the ball back. Well, Anta as well.
It might have been the handover actually, because
Yes,
I think the actual
was.
ball played the man when Jonathan Davis dropped the goal. So really, France got off a little bit lucky there.
The one try on the night to Sullivan. The French coach Ivan Gresek has been working with his players, and this is more like it from them. Well, it was. It looked quite good when Pierre Chamarin was going forward then, but again the ball went to ground, picked up by the Welsh.
I think he's given a penalty, John. I think he's given a penalty for holding the French lad back, and
let's have a look.
I think there we have it here. As he throws the ball back here, I think you can see that one of the French lads is took out back play.
Yeah. So, it is indeed the French who've got a chance to get a try for themselves before half-time. We're into the last 10 minutes of the first half. This is Frederic Tuxedo. Acting half-back will be Patrick Torre. And then switching it left to Talek. That man who plays for Wigan.
Yes, and if you do score here, France, you know, they're really back in the game.
Oh, very much so, and they've got their chances. Kabastani. That's not the half-time hooter, that was somebody's bugle in the crowd. Very loud one as well. Just got to spread it a little, and now they're giving Owen-Town the opportunity to find their way through.
You notice then the Welsh, Jonathan Davis moved up very, very quickly to cut that Welsh raid out.
Yes, they were up very sharply. And the penalty again given by Mr. Ward to France. Well, they could have elected to kick a goal to get some points on the board. They'll feel better if they do. And that I would think is exactly what they are going to do.
Well, they are going to do. And coming on to give him that words of his wisdom is, it looks like Glenn Knight.
Glenn Knight, ex-Huddersfield, and I believe associated with you at one stage in your career, Alex.
I signed him when I was at Warrington, and now he's got a French passport, I'll never know.
Glenn Knight, who was the assistant coach for France.
Yes, he is.
People pop up all over the world nowadays.
He's the only Yorkshire Frenchman in the country, I would think.
So, Patrick Torre has the chance here to put points on the board for France for the first time tonight. Left-footed, here he comes, and back off and upright, and then fumbled by Davis. And I think he went out with a foot over the back line, he did, and so it's going to be a dropout. It's a bad miss for the French.
We saw a bad miss last night, and it cost Tonga very, very dearly, and let's hope that doesn't cost France very dearly. He hits it hard enough, it just whips off the post, and really, them are the goal kicks you should kick.
Yeah, could have gone anywhere, couldn't it? Antart for France, who trail 8-0. Banquet. Oh, that's a good turn and spin, and a promising raid led by Pascal Jeanpi. He's probably been the forward who's made most ground for them.
Yes, it looks as though one or two of these French lads are just getting into the game now.
Yeah, here's another storming run for them from Talek. He'll have learned quite a lot at Central Park, will Monsieur Talek. Now back across the line as far as Antart. He flings out the long ball, intercepted for Wales, and another chance goes begging as it falls into the hands of Sullivan.
Yes, I think Anthony Sullivan was very, very relieved to take that ball, because if it had missed him out, I think there was a try begging.
Yeah, he's coming off his line, hasn't he? His flank. Perrett. Now Young. Kevin Ellis here. Strong running airs. Made his test debut against France all 6 years ago. Yes. Now then Davis. The crowd wanting to see a flash of inspiration from Davis. There was some strong running again from Alan Bateman. Sullivan for Davis. Again he's going for high kick. This time he angles it. And he's found a touch. Oh, he does alternate with his kicks, doesn't he? Some are bombs, some are angled kicks. Never know quite what he's going to do.
No, I think what he meant to do then was just keep the ball in play. He kicks the ball very, very high. Instead of putting it down the middle of the park this time, he angles the kick. The French wingman, I really think he should always take the ball. Never let a rugby ball bounce. So you'd expect the French to get the ball from the scrum.
inside their own 22-metre line. And there's no doubt about it, the French pack is not quite as strong as the Welsh one.
And I think the Welsh pack also is just doing a little bit of what they do in rugby union.
Tackling keen again, as you would expect. Now this loose forward Valero, who passed the fitness test. He's had a calf muscle strain. He's been a fixture in the side for a long time now. Armtacker's got his man moving here. Lovely ball slip for Garcia. Forward pass again given. But there's just an inkling here that the French down this touchline are getting stronger and more confident.
Yes, I think again, you know, they've got to take chances and they're keeping the ball alive. But again, it's just, well, it's unfortunate, but it's just that half a yard forward.
Some referees might have let that one go, funnily enough.
Well, you've got to admit, Eddie Ward is a top referee and he doesn't miss things like that.
Oh, Welsh ball, and Harris. It's a promising situation. The gap is open for Gibbs, but it's closed again almost as quickly. That was a nice little manoeuvre from the Welsh. Almost confused the French. They try again. Once again, Harris involved. Still Harris going. Now it's Devereux.
I think what the French lads, the Welsh lads are trying to do is trying to beat too many men. I think, and letting the ball do the work and running into the gap.
Ellis almost goes underground. From Hall now, it's Moriarty wanting the ball, and no real need to give that pass out, although as it's happened, it's Devereux who's picked it up, and the Welsh can keep the move going. Ellis. And this will be the last one.
I think you might see a little switch in play here, a little drop off. The man coming inside.
Well, Davis has got the one away for Gibbs. It might count. Scott Gibbs just held up in the corner there. There's a nice little blindside switch.
Yes, and I think Scott Gibbs, he'd love to score a try. He's been short on 2 occasions, and he's really, really tried him for that. Well, a very important try.
But for the moment, very elusive. The French have come a little more into the game in the last few minutes.
Yes, I think you can see Scott Gibbs here again. He's such a strong lad. He just takes some pulling down. 3 or 4 Frenchmen just to, pull him down.
Well, the comments of our studio guests to come in a few moments. They'll be happy that Wales have been the ascendancy in terms of points. But they'd like a few more before the break, and they might get them here now. Sullivan's on his way. Anthony Sullivan in for try number 2, and the Welsh have got those points. I think he's only had 2 touches really tonight, on a try-scoring game anyway, but Sullivan makes the best of it, and Wales are in double figures, courtesy of Sullivan's second.
Well, there's one good thing about this. The crowd really appreciate that. They're up on the feet, they're cheering, the Welsh flags are out. But it is a simple try, a lovely, lovely ball out here. Anthony Sullivan, tons of pay, a quick play of the ball. Jonathan Davies spots the gap again here. Sullivan, Iestyn Harris in the line, and that's a beautiful ball. And Sullivan, believe me, when this guy gets in the clear, there is no way that he's going to be caught.
It's a good night for the Welsh so far. Jonathan Davies and Alan Bateman again instrumental.
Well, it's just a Jonathan Davies, a beautiful pair of hands here, but Iestyn Harris in the line again. You see, he gives the final pass to Sullivan, and when he gets into open space, he knows he's got the outside, and that's a great try.
Yeah, he's a thoroughbred, isn't he? And you could tell the way he was full of running, full of balance, confused the full-back. He could have gone off either foot there, and he made it look very easy.
Well, very simple indeed.
12-0. Wales are leading France. And Jonathan Davies prepares. And again he pulls it wide of the right-hand upright. No conversion to go with the try, but even so close to half-time as it is. Wales are in a great position with Sullivan's second try, making it Wales 12, France 0.
Yes, and here we see again, just watch the ball of Jonathan Davies. Iestyn Harris links into the line. Sullivan, when he gets into space, he knows he's got the pace, he knows he's got the class, and he does it in style.
Well, he got 2 tries on his Welsh debut against Papua New Guinea. That was in a 68-0 romp. I don't think we're going to get that sort of a score tonight. That was a few years ago now, but he's not scored for Wales since until tonight.
No, and the interesting thing about this game also is that the Welsh lads are a little bit confident about going a long way in this competition, because I've heard that a certain bookmaker in Wales, and they've had a little wager on themselves to proceed in the competition.
Well, that was a lovely break from Hall, and here's another from Iestyn Harris. I wonder if there's time for them to get another one before the break. We're inside that last 30 seconds. Here's Richie Ayres, breaks the tackle, and Gibbs steaming up like a train on his outside. He could have accepted the pass. That would have been it, but as it is, the half-time hooter sounds here at Ninian Park. The Welsh Dragon is roaring, and 2 tries from that man, Anthony Sullivan, and 2 goals from Jonathan Davies means at half-time it's Wales 12, France 0. We're back with the second half after this break and studio chat. To Ninian Park, Alex Murphy sitting alongside me as the Welsh come out. And the one thing for sure, Alex, they've had great support here tonight.
Well, I think the Welsh will be a lot happier than the French lads, because at least they have put a little bit of rugby together. I think the French look a little bit disheartened, and they look as though they don't have too much idea about how to play the game. They're just running in 1s and 2s. You know, there's no set moves coming off, and I think the French coach really at half time, he'll have to say to these lads, if you want anything out of this game, you've got to start competing, because the Welsh lads, every time they move the ball out wide, they look as though they could score, but they're moving the ball at the man and not into the gap. So I think Wales will look for a little bit more as well.
In other words, the Welsh have got to make the ball do the work a little bit.
Well, I think so. I think what's happening is people like Jonathan Davies, I think they're all trying to please. Scott Gibbs is trying to score, Moriarty's trying to score, Jonathan's trying to score, and I think if they let the ball do the work, everything else will follow.
Right. Thank you, Alex. Yeah, we've noticed that a lot. I mean, there's been Richie Ayres, Kelvin Skerritt, Paul Moriarty, Scott Gibbs, all gone, charging in for the line. But a simple pass, they might have had a colleague in. Anyway, let's see how they do in the second 40 minutes. Goodness me, needs a bucket of Santa kick-off these days.
And this is what they call modern football.
You never used one of those, did you?
No, and I think the nice thing about it, they make it look as though it's part of the game as well.
Yeah.
But
anyway,
every man to his own.
Everyone to his own indeed. Much talk, of course, down here that people like Davies and Phil Ford, who's not even on the bench tonight, may soon be reverting to rugby union. We shall see. Now then, what can the French do, and has Yvan Grasek managed to get some words across to them that will inspire them in this second half?
Well, if it was anything like last night's game, the second half was a magnificent affair, and that's what the French will need. They need people to support the man with the ball.
It's in the hands of hooker, Torre, who missed the best chance of points for them in the first half with a very straightforward kick. Skerritt looks to be limping a little to me. Good tackle by Martin Hall. The crowd rising to that one. There he is, Skerritt at 6 feet and 16 stone 7 pounds. A handy customer to have around.
Yes, you don't get 2 of them in a pound, do you? He's a big man, Kelvin Skerritt, and he's had a great first half.
And so has Moriarty. So now the kick comes in from Banquet. Looks a pretty good kick as well to me. Not quite found touch though, which is the critical factor. That's run out by Iestyn Harris, this 19-year-old from Warrington. Taken on by Alan Bateman. Well, she's certainly making yardage every time.
Leave him there, let go, let go.
You may have heard the referee shouting then, come on, let go, let go.
Yes, I think the referee actually has been probably as busiest man as what's been on the field. And again, I think we see a penalty here just for lying on. The referees are instructed these days, you've got to release the man with the ball, you've got to roll away from the man, and if you see the French forward here, he definitely just rolls all over him. He won't let the Welsh David Young play the ball, and that is definitely a penalty.
So it's 12-0 to Wales, and my feeling is that if the Welsh get the first try of this half, there's some treatment there for Talek. If the Welsh score early in this half, they'll begin to feel that the floodgates are open.
Yes, and I think we'll find that's a blood bin.
Yeah, Talek off.
The card has been held up, and there's a vast difference now with the blood bin.
We'll have a look at his replacement in a moment. But this is a big chance for Wales to stretch their advantage. Oh, dearie me, it was a big chance, and then Perrett put the ball down. So it's back in French hands. There's the new man. And you can see 17, Lilian Hebert from Pia. His club won the 1995 French title. So he's been used to being on winning sides. Now here's Faget, who made one run in the first half, which was quite impressive.
Yes, and I think he looks one of the French lads who has got a little bit of pace. I don't think the French have stopped trying. I just don't think they've put enough people in right positions to run with the ball.
A little bit of inspiration. Maybe Antat can provide some. Now he kicks. Hoists it very high. Iestyn Harris underneath it. Takes it cleanly. Held on to the ball. It looked to be a little away from his body, but he clung on. That was the
Yes, he
important
did
thing.
well, the young kid. You know, he's a very, very good player, this kid. He's only 19 years of age, and he's come on leaps and bounds in the last 12 months.
Devereux got away from 1 or 2 there.
Just look at him there, John. He never took his eye off the ball. There was a lot of traffic coming down from the French forwards.
The traffic's going the other way now. I can see the red light coming. And, from Hall, it's switched to Ayres. He loses the ball though.
And I think you'll find out that may be a penalty,
Yes,
because
it
to
was.
me it looks as though there was a French hand, which Years had already told the referee. He definitely had a word with the linesman. I think it looks like David Frisch. No.
Well, it's Collis, huh?
Collis, yes,
Yeah.
definitely the hand was in. Penalty.
So again, the Welsh have the chance here.
Well, these are the places where the Welsh should be putting things on. I mean, the drive-ins, all right, but they've got some magical backs, and surely they've got to use them.
Very much so. To be Skerritt, first man up to accept. Beats away the first, beats away the second, gives it to Kevin Ellis. Steps up on his right foot. Then the longer ball here for Scott Gibbs. Gibbs reversing it for Devereux. And Devereux did the right thing there. He could have thrown out a silly pass, but he did the right thing in holding on. They've still got chances. Gibbs again. 4 ball from him. And it slows the move down. Jonathan Davies tries to add a bit of pep to it. But 3 more tackles to come. Hall, always useful at acting half-back. Likes to pass out to Bateman.
I just think that they vary it a little bit, the Welsh. You know, they seem to be going just one way. There's no drop-off coming in. You know, they've got to vary the play.
Herrick, now there's a switch which might open the way for Alan Bateman. And he's held right on the line there. There's no score again, and they've got so close 3 or 4 times without actually getting the ball down over the line.
Yes, and I think Alan Bateman might have taken a knock here. He was very, very close indeed. It's a good run from Bateman. Again, a switch of play, a variation in play. Oh, well, that was one good tackle.
Yeah. He really collared him, didn't he, Garcia?
Yes, he did, and Freddie Bunke was in there as well, and that Alan Bateman will not want too many of those kind of tackles. That was a good try-saving tackle.
Well, otherwise Sullivan might have been in for a hat-trick if not Bateman. So, no addition to the score since the half-time break. It's 12-0. Wales are in front and pleasing their fans. Not been a classic by any means, but there's a long way to go on the
Yes,
night.
I do think that if the Welsh do score another try, I think it'll ease them a little bit, because they seem to be rushing every time they get the ball. They don't seem to think what they're doing. They're just playing for playing sake.
That was a bit pedestrian again from the French though there. Very predictable what they're doing at the moment. And the Welsh spotting is keen. Now from acting half-back Torre. Iestyn Harris with all the time in the world to pick this one up. Size up his options. Oh, lovely sidestepping from Harris. Great bit of work from him, and that's why he's such a popular kid in Warrington.
Yeah, she's a magical kid there. She's got a great stride on him, and
Ellis goes through the middle, goes Kevin Ellis. Terrific little run from the scrum half.
I think what he's also saying, Kevin, is where is my support? There wasn't one Welsh player within 30 yards.
No, there wasn't, and now it's Harris again, and this time he's got it away for Hall. Martin Hall's devastating close to the line. Now they've got a big chance here, the Welsh. Devereux on to Davis. Sullivan's on the outside. It's a hat-trick for Anthony Sullivan. The arms are raised, and he is very much the hero. Coming home for Wales. Anthony Sullivan, 3 tries for Wales, all 3 for him.
Well, I don't like to say I told you so, but that is exactly what Wales needed. All it needs is quick hands, quick ball, and once they move this ball along the line, Jonathan Davis, Anthony Sullivan, 3 out of 3.
It's 16-0, and it's hard to see any other result than a Welsh win now.
And again, a beautiful ball. Just watch Davis burst into the gap. He's electrifying pace. Anthony Sullivan's got all the time in the world. Makes the goal-kicking job a little bit easier for Jonathan Davis. But it was the switch of play again. Iestyn Harris came into the line. Keeps the ball alive. A lovely break here again. But what you've got to watch is the support play. Wales have been lacking in this department. Quick hands again. Jonathan Davis electrified, draws his man beautifully and gives Sullivan a beautiful, simple running chance.
Well, he's a right to feel delighted, and Kevin Ellis too. It was Ellis's run which set up the initial platform, and it was his long pass out that got Davis in the position to send in Sullivan as well. So Wales stretching themselves into a very useful lead at 16-0. The French will be a little crestfallen at this moment. They've got to keep their heads high. Davis, who's only landed 2 penalty goals so far, looks for his first conversion of the evening, and the Roars tell you that he's made it, and Wales are 18-0 to the good.
And when you think that they've got people like Sullivan, just watch this again. It's a beautiful ball from Kevin Ellis. Twice, Devereux in the line, Jonathan Davis, lovely ball skills, Anthony Sullivan, plenty place, plenty time, and does it in style.
Well, the French really have got a job on their hands now.
Well, I think really what we need now is obviously the Welsh look as though they're well in control of this game, and they've got to really just think about what they're doing and just keep the ball going.
Well, Scott Gibbs has certainly kept it going. Sullivan can't hold on this time. But, of course, the Welsh, bearing in mind they've got Western Samoa coming at the weekend, but they've longer to prepare for that. It's France against Western Samoa here in 3 nights' time.
Yes, and I think they'll be glad to get this game under the belt. It's always important to start the campaign with a win.
This is a big man, Collis, the number 16. Feeds off to the other substitute, Hebert, who's on in this second half. Now Faget. Oh, and basics again there. The ball spilled by Jean-Pierre, who's been one of the better runners for the French tonight.
Yes, we've seen very little from the French. They look very poor. Their angling's been very poor. The only good thing about it is the tackling's not been too bad.
Adrian Hadley popped on for Wales, and that was his first tilt, and now another one from Hall. Young, former big hero of the Welsh Rugby Union followers. Hall again, and now Mark Jones. He's another substitute who's come on. The Welsh have introduced 2 new men there.
Yes, and I think it's a good ploy by Clive Griffiths. He's giving these lads a run, and it's very important you get a run in this World Cup.
Now the kick through from Davis, the chase is on, Richie Ayres, and this time it's well picked up by the fullback Despin. Run out by Collis. Mustn't lose the ball in this situation. That happened to Mr. Hoppos of Australia at the weekend, and the Aussies suffered the consequences just from that sort of a position. This is better rugby from the French, and in fact the gap has opened now for Chameron.
That was to have burst of pace, John, don't they, the French? You know, they're doing it in odd bursts. They don't seem to have a lot of idea what they're doing, but when they do it, it looks good.
I think it must be very frustrating to be a wingman, because they've got the pace and the centres probably, but they've just not had the opportunities tonight.
No, I think they're rebuilding the side, and 1 or 2 of these lads seem to be finding the pace of this game a little bit too fast for them.
Here is Frederick Bonquet, who plays for Featherstone Rovers. It's not a Featherstone name. Oh, and that was a superb take.
Yes, the little lad's doing well, isn't he? He's a very brave kid, this. There's no problem about that. A lot of people would think about before he took that ball, but he kept his eye on the ball. He's falling back when he takes the ball. There's a lot of pressure coming forward, but he takes it in style.
Tell you, Adrian Hadley's enjoyed himself since he's come on. He's just had a second punishing run up the middle.
And it's amazing what they do when they put the Welsh jersey on, isn't it?
Yep. Ellis, he too's had a good night. Now Mark Jones, this huge figure of man, who's not had the best of luck since he turned professional with injuries. The ball reversed for Richie Ayres now, and the Wales really pepping it up. Ayres has got that one out, and unfortunately it was a forward pass.
Yes, I think Richie will be a bit disappointed with that. I think he knows it was just slightly forward. Again, Martin Hall, great support play, Richie Ayres. runs through the gap.
Crossing as well, I think, maybe.
Well, they're not too good when they're passing the ball in that kind of position. It was a cross and it was a forward pass also.
Grace has put that one away for France, who have possession again now. And coming onto the ball is this tall fella, Tuxedo.
I think the French need a try. You know, if they're going to do anything in this game, they've got to score now.
Yes, they badly need one, and they're trying to create space for Chamara again. He looks one of their likelier players to me, because he has got pace when he gets into a gap. Again, Bonke comes into it. He's got a few tries for Featherstone Rovers, as Bonke.
Yes, he's got a lot of experience. He's been playing very, very well in a tough division.
On tap, along the line, Fagier. Now they have, oh, dearie me, they've given it away. Jonathan Davis said, thank you very much, I'll have that one.
Yes, I think we just take a little breather, Jonathan, as well. He knows they've got this game well in control.
Moriarty. Sounds Italian said that way, doesn't it? Moriarty.
Yes, you did that quite well then, John. I
wonder why you gave me a look. David Young. No doubt about his origins. Now Martin Hall. Remember, the Welsh have taken the entire Wigan front row. Neil Cowie would have been on the bench tonight. But
yes, and we'd like to congratulate Neil Cowie and especially his wife. It is good news, I hear. They've just had a youngster, and I hope him well from mother and father and baby.
There are two more Welsh substitutes tonight are Kieran Cunningham and Roland Phillips. They'll probably get on. We can't hear the loudspeaker here, that's one thing.
The nice thing about young Kieran Cunningham, he's 18 years of age and he's a tremendous potential.
Right, let's look forward to seeing him in a few minutes. Javouer has come on in place of Talic, we understand, for France. These substitutions happen so quickly. And now it's a good run by the hooker, Torre. And again, Chamara is the one to make a break, and this is great running from Chamara, and the French have got a try here. And that was a terrific run by Chamara, well supported by Torre, who'll have the opportunity to tag on the 2 points with the kick as well, and it'll last a little bit of inspiration, and it did come from Chamara.
Well, we did say that this man was the likely one to cause any damage. Chamara, who he's had a very, very good game. It's great support play from the French, kept the ball alive. Really, it looks as though one or two of the Welsh lads were a little bit complacent getting back here, but give all credit to the French. They kept this ball alive. Great support player, and there's a very, very simple chance, and he likes that.
The Welsh seemed a little bit confused by the fact that Jonathan Davis was down and play was going on around him while he was prostrate on the ground. They seemed to stop playing one or two of them.
Well, I don't think they can anything do with that. I think Jonathan looks as though he's got a knock. He has had a problem with the jaw, and whether he's just got another knock on that, there was a question mark. I hope this is what I don't think it is. There's a stretcher coming on the field. He certainly looks as though he's in a bit of pain.
Frederic Monquet, meanwhile, concentrates on what should be a simple conversion straight in front of the sticks, as you can see. This to make it 18-6. Over she goes, and the French come back into the game, just a little bit anyway. It will give them renewed hope. But that's the sad sight at the moment. It'd be a shame if Jonathan Davis has to go, but this is the try again.
Well, this is a great try from France. They've worked hard. They needed this, really. A bit of sloppy play. They kept just running the ball and running the Welsh defence, and they'll not be too happy about this tackling. It was very, very poor, very lax. Moriarty looked as though he wasn't interested there. And again, just great support play by the French, and a very, very well-worked try.
Well, Davis is leaving the field, but thankfully he's walking off, so he's had a sympathetic round of applause. But I'm convinced that one or two of the Welshmen stopped playing there.
Yes, they did, actually. But I think you'll find Jonathan Davis there. He has got a knock to the jaw, and he has had a few problems with that. There was a doubt about whether he'd play in this game. He looks a little bit shaky going off, doesn't he?
He does. And it means that the Welsh will have to reorganise now. Let's see who comes on into the standoff position. The partner, Kevin Ellis. 18-6 it is. 23 minutes remaining here at Ninian Park, and the French in possession with renewed vigour.
And the one good thing about this, because the score is 18-6, and that will give France a lot of confidence. And if he scored another try and get back into this game, who knows what can happen. Here we see Davis here as he goes in. I think what he actually did, he tackled the big number 8, and I think he might have caught his knee in the face.
Yeah, I think he did. It's totally unintentional. I don't think the prop forward, Cabestany, even knew he was tackling him almost at that moment.
He's a very, very big man, Cabestany, and I think if you catch a knee off him, you'll know about it.
Anyway, Alan Bateman has come back on. He was the one who'd gone off originally, but he's come back on for Davis. I thought they might have given Cunningham a run, but not so. Anyway, France is suddenly finding heart for the contest.
Yes, they sprung to life, and like I say, if they score again...
Well, then that will put the cat among the pigeons. And there is Cabestany now, driving in. Chance for the French once again with Talek.
It's amazing what a try does to a side, isn't it? They look down and out, the French. All of a sudden they score a try and everybody wants the ball.
Well, and of course 4 points for a try plus 2 for a conversion makes it such a difference to the scoreline. And it's out with this huge fellow again, Colles. They've also brought on substitute Chavou. And they're looking much more enterprising and dangerous at the moment, and the ball is with the try scorer. Torre held up in Ellis's tackle. I think the Welsh suddenly know that there's a game on here. Entap. The chip through is going to be just too long despite the unavailing dive.
Yes, I think for the dive, 9.9 on the terrace.
Half fight with twist. Now, what's Clive Griffiths doing there?
Well, I think what he's saying is he doesn't know how many substitutes he's used. I think, you know, you can only use so many substitutes in this game. I think they've had 3 Wales, and this one could be his last one. I think he was just checking Clive Griffiths with the touch judge.
He's going to bring Kieran Cunningham on. I'm looking forward to seeing him. A very young lad, just 18 years of age from St Helens. There he is.
Yes, he's a very, very good prospect, and really, Wales really need to pull something out again now.
And Ellis's pass almost went astray. We haven't seen as much in this half of Scott Gibbs as we did in the first. Now Big Jones. It's an unusual name for a Welshman.
It is, yes, yeah.
The kick should be handled simply by Banquet. He's going to fall back in the second half. Following through with a quick tackle. It's Moriarty, always a hero here, Moriarty.
The French look a little bit more livelier since they've scored the try. They seem as though they want the ball, and everybody wants to run with the ball.
Away it goes again from Torre. The crowd enjoyed that. That was a double hit involving Mark Jones and Mark Perrett. 20 minutes to go. Wales 18, France 6 here on Live Sport. And again they've created a gap for Torre. Well, it's still a contest because 12 points, as we saw last night, you can make that up in 2 minutes. Now Kieran Cunningham does come on.
Yes, and I think...
Sorry, Alex.
He'll look as though he wants to get on the field. It's his first cap, and he'll be very exciting. And like I say, he's a great player to play.
And the break is on, and the try must surely be on here for Iestyn Harris. It came from nothing. It doesn't matter. It's points on the board. And Iestyn Harris, who scored against France in Carcassonne last year, repeats the feat in the World Cup.
It might have come from nothing, but I can assure you this guy is going to be one of the big names in rugby league. This is a tremendous try. Lads with ability, just watch him. He's got a beautiful step here. He's got plenty pace, he's got plenty class, and he does it in style. Look at him, just coast down a gear and does what's necessary.
Well, there seems to be absolutely nothing on there. He looked to be running straight into a French wall, didn't he? But his little dummy took him away, and once he'd pinned his ears back, there was no stopping him.
Well, that's what good players can do, I'm afraid, and this lad is a good player. He's got a lot of class, he's got a lot of talent, and Wales really needed that.
Wales got it as well from Iestyn Harris of Warrington. He actually scored 3 tries and 9 goals in a game against the American Patriots in June. This is a rather different contest. The Welsh won that one by a cricket score. But they'll be happy with 22-6 tonight, and here Harris has the chance to make it 24-6. It's not a bad angle for him. It's not a long way out. He made sure of that when he was skipping over the try line. And Iestyn Harris tags on the 2 points to go with the previous 4, and Wales are on their way to 2 points in the World Cup. Wales 24, France 6.
Yes, and young Iestyn Harris, he'll be very, very happy about that. It was a lovely try. Just look at the body movements on the kid. He knows what he's going to do. Once he sees the gap, he knows where the try line is. There's no problem where he's going to go. He's a strong runner, he's a classy runner, and it's a very, very good try.
A big ooh from the crowd, because from the kick-off the ball landed in the hands of Paul Moriarty and he set off, and the crowd was thrilled by that.
Yes, I think he's had a big game, Moriarty, and he won't be far off winning the man of the match.
No, I don't think he's going to go to a Frenchman tonight. Now Mark Jones trying to make an impact on his arrival. It is a big Welsh pack, and they've run well, but they've put the ball down in the hands of David Young this time. Groans around the ground.
Yes, I think he was just trying to drive the ball in. And,
The official attendance for today's Halifax Rugby League Centenary World Cup match is 10,250.
Well, you've probably heard that. I think anybody around the country heard it. 10,250 is the official attendance. They'll have heard that in Swansea and Newport and anywhere within about 25 miles of Ninian Park, I would think.
Yes, and I say the 10,000 Welsh people that are here, they will have enjoyed the game, because Wales have scored some very good tries. It's not been the best game in the world, but having said that, Wales are in front.
It's another good crowd. 8,000 at Warrington last night, 4,000 at Keighley, 41,000 at Wembley, and now 10,250 at Cardiff.
And I think the old saying, you ain't seen nothing yet, because the best has yet to come.
Yeah, this is only game 4 of the World Cup 1995, and the French are trailing, but coming forward now in the shape of Carl Javou, who actually comes from Cairns in Australia. So how he's got into the French team, I'm not quite sure.
Well,
but
it's amazing what happens these days.
Aren't that? A little reverse ball accepted by Talek. Talek's only 19. He was the baby on the tour party that went to New Zealand and Canada this year.
They tell me that since his Wigan days that they've put actually a stone on in weight in 3 years at Wigan. So
That's him
they
there.
thought he needed a little bit of upper body strength, and obviously the weight room at Wigan's doing its job.
14 stone 8 pounds now. Not bad for a 5'9" fella. But they need some power from somewhere, the French, otherwise they're going to go under tonight. They're 24-6 down, and unlike last night with New Zealand, you can't really see them coming back into this one. I don't think they've got enough bullets in the cartridge.
No, I think we'd put the icing on the cake if we really saw a full length of the field try from Wales. This would really set these Welsh lights alight.
That's true. Someone like Hadley might produce it, a strong runner with plenty of pace. There he goes, and Jones took it on from him. Hadley's in there again.
And that all stemmed from Kieran Cunningham. He's a tremendous kid from Acton Halfback. He makes a lot of ground.
Ellis was involved, Harry says. All want to get involved now. They're scenting tries.
Yes, and I think also, John, the running in the gap where he wasn't running before.
Devereux, he'd like a try. He really relishes getting over the try line. This is going to be, well, a strange kick from Harris, which is a bit of a present to France in the end.
Well, I think it's something to just practice in training. If that was a drop goal, it was a very, very poor attempt.
He probably won't be trying it again for a minute or two. But he's got to try Iestyn Harris, and Wales have got 4 on the night, 3 of them to Anthony Sullivan. 10,250 here to see what's beginning to look like 2 very good points for Wales. The crowd are again enjoying the sight of Jouvin being absolutely dumped on his knees.
Yes, and I think you've got to be quite pleased if you're a Welsh supporter. They've really enjoyed this. I think the Welsh lads have done what they have to do. I don't think they've had a lot of opposition, but having said that, you can only win the match.
And now they might get another score. It's the break by Bonquet, so the Welsh getting back in numbers, but still they've got their chances. And certainly Chamarrad deserves a try tonight. He's played as well as anybody for France. And the penalty is going to be given to France here, which really sets them up with a chance. There's Hebert.
They'll definitely keep the ball alive, the French. They're made that way. They'll run with this ball.
Anta, across the line, Torre. Oh, when it's lost, it puts the ground. Oh, if he'd have broken that tackle, he was away, Scott Gibbs. So it's now the French who have to reorganise, and they've squandered their opportunities. I mean, that was on the first tackle.
Yes, they've been in some very, very good attacking positions and just wasted it. Here we see a penalty now. Somebody said something to the referee, Justin Harris, and definitely one thing about the referees.
Substitution for France.
He must have given a knock on.
Yes, he's given a knock on, I think, and the Welsh are going to bring Roland Phillips on for the last few minutes of this match. As the French again look to set up a position with Antat. He's not really made his stamp on the game.
No, he was struggling with an injury before the game, and really all you can say about the French is that they've just tried, but it's not been good enough.
No. And they're trailing 24 points to 6 at the moment, but looking for more points now with Antat with a longer ball. Paget, Brace, and now it's kicked through, and there must be a chance here as Devereux will kick on again, surely, picks the ball up, and he's brought to ground, waits for the support. Here it comes from Moriarty. He might as well just run straight at them. Moriarty, well, he's not a wingman, he's not a centre, but Wales surely have a great chance with Kevin Ellis. Well, the French are going to get back now, but that was a golden opportunity for them really to put their seal on the game.
Yes, I think if they just moved the ball out, I think that would have been a certain try.
It might still be a score. It certainly is. In he goes. He's got to ground it, mind you. Has he got the ball down over the line? They're hanging on to him, but the try is given. Alan Bateman. Price was clinging on, but Alan Bateman gets his try.
Just returned from Australia. He'll be very, very happy with this. He took the ball well. He's a very, very strong lad. Runs through the gap. A last-ditch effort, but he does it right.
28 points to 6. Alan Bateman, 6th for Wales.
It'd be interesting to see whether he got that ball down or not.
In fact, well, it looks, it's not after all that.
He went away and celebrated.
It has been I did wonder when he went over that try line. I thought it had been. But anyway, the ref was close, perhaps this time for Wales. And perhaps for Devereux. Surely they're not going to stop him. And John Devereux skates in at the corner. He is patted on the head, and this time it is 4 points. Bateman didn't get one, Devereux did.
Yes, well, one good thing about this, we can definitely say that this is a try, because there's no doubt about it. John Devereux, a simple, quick hands. The Welsh are on the feet, they're shouting, Devereux, Devereux, and he'll be very, very happy with that. It's a simple move along the line, straight from the scrum, good quick hands, and a very, very simple try. Kevin Ellis just switches it back to the blind side. Justin Harris, Bateman, and a lovely ball to John Devereux, and they don't stop him from that distance.
Gibbs actually, well, it was Gibbs that final ball.
Yes, but it's a beautiful ball out there, isn't it? I mean, Scott Gibbs is such a strong lad, isn't he? They really run over a Welsh player there, but John Devereux, determination on his face, and does what matters.
John Devereux averages a try again for Wales. 8 tries in 8 appearances, and with 10 minutes to go, he's given Wales a 28 points to 6 lead here. With the goal kick to come. Now then, Davies has gone off, and so Harris takes over. Very, very difficult kick for him, especially when he's not been kicking all night. And it curls round and around, but behind. So they don't add to Devereux's try, but at 28 points to 6, Wales are home and dry, and Paul Moriarty has been named man of the match.
Yes, and he's also been taken off the field, so you can tell what kind of a game. That was a good try by Devereux. Tremendous rugby by Wales. They kept the ball alive, and this is what we've been saying all night. If they move the ball out wide, they've got players like Devereux who can score tries like that.
Felt a bit sorry for Alan Bateman there, because he'd done everything right in getting over the line, and the try was snatched away from him. But that's the laws of the game. The score went to Devereux, and now it's Roland Phillips, and he makes a gallop up the middle.
Now this fella has been playing well. He's playing for Workington Town. He's had a tremendous season with Workington.
Oh, they're full of running now. Look at that. That was Cunningham, and that's Hadley. Here goes Scott Gibbs. He wants to score badly tonight as well. And if the French can get another 2 tries, it'll really look a big win for them. Young now. Simply puts his head down and goes.
I think it's made a big difference since Kieran Cunningham came on the field. I think the ball's moving out a lot quicker. The Welsh seem to be getting the ball a lot wider outside.
It's moved out to Richie Ayres this time. And they've got more chances here with the French heads just beginning to drop, you feel. That is Cunningham arriving in all by himself, but it's on the last tackle. So then Kevin Ellis chips through. Was he taken out? Well, the French are going to be pinned back behind their own line, and so they'll drop out.
Yes, that's good pressure from Kevin Ellis. A kick on the 6th tackle. Good support play, and obviously putting France under pressure again.
Ayres has that ability to straighten up, and that's what he did there. But the Welsh just unable to capitalise. But they'll get the ball back again here now. It's Scott Gibbs. Can't break the first tackle. He gets up to the 22. Across the line for Phillips. Gets the pass away as well. Did well there. Now it's Mark Jones. Taken out of it. And the Welsh are camped here in a very good position as Harris gets involved. Flings it out. Picked up Hadley. Adrian Hadley. Well, they're still 15 yards out.
Yes, and I get the feeling that Wales really want to finish with a bang.
Yeah, they're queuing up almost now. Ellis. And it might be a score for Perrett. Mark Perrett. He's over that line. And Mark Perrett adds to the Welsh tally.
I think you'll find out that the referee is getting a forward pass. Mr. Ward was right on the spot. We'll just have a look on the replay. Ellis with the ball. Well, that looked all right to me, and I think that's one that got away.
So 2 tries disallowed in the last few minutes. 1 for Bateman, and that's not going to be allowed either.
One against the head, and that would have been an unusual thing. But it'd be interesting to see when we look at the replay later on, because that definitely looked like a good try to me.
Still 28-6.
The winner of today's Halifax Man of the Match award, chosen by members of the press who will receive an engraved crystal and mahogany trophy exclusive to Tiffany's & Co, is Iestyn Harris.
In fact, Iestyn Harris is the man of the match, not Moriarty, as I led you to believe a few moments ago. The announcement then was of Moriarty going off, as you can't hear yourself think when he's on the tannoy. But anyway, it's Iestyn Harris, man of the match.
No, I think he fooled you, John, when he gave it out in Welsh. I think he was saying that Moriarty was leaving the field. He wasn't getting the man of the match.
If it's not in Yorkshire, I don't understand it, Alex.
There's a little bit of a difference, but the French now look as though they can't wait to hear the U to go. They really look a little bit dejected.
Not surprisingly, it's 28-6, and it could honestly have been about 46, couldn't it, with those 2 disallowed tries. Hadley again running the ball out from deep. Devereux got that last Welsh try. Harris and then Gibbs. And Scott Gibbs now wanting to straighten up through the middle. We'll have Cunningham is acting half-back now. Hands it off quickly. Phillips, he's full of running. He's Roland Phillips. He has had a good season at Workington, as you said, Alex.
Yes, he's a very, very strong lad, and he takes some pulling down.
Now Ayres has to be stopped. He's had some good runs in the second half.
I think it's become a little bit better from the Welsh. They look as though they're getting the long legs, you know, they're supporting the man with the ball, where they wasn't in the first half.
Ellis finds that he can't be knocked over. Still slipped the pass away. Phillips was the one to take it. And on the last tackle, the referee intervenes. The ball was lost, and it will be a scrum with a put in for the French.
And I don't think Roland Phillips will be too happy. It looks as though there was a hand in there, actually, and, you know, knocked it out.
Hard to tell from that. But the contest's over, there's no question about Wales having the points in the bag tonight, even though the French have the ball from this scrum again.
Well, I think Wales have got what they wanted. It's very, very important that you start this campaign off with a win, and Wales, although they've not played exceptionally well, they've done what's been required.
Really are playing out time now. The Welsh will be pleased enough to score 5 tries to 1. There's the French wingman Garcia. Not that many running chances. The Welsh get a running chance now. The longer ball is fired out here for Sullivan. Remember, he's got 3 tries already. All into touch this time. But you're right, Alex, when you say that since Cunningham has come on, there's been a bit more pep and verve and style about Wales.
Yes, I think they've had a little bit more class. You know, they've moved the ball out wide. I think they was getting bogged down by playing one-man football, trying to batter the French into the ground. And really, when you've got 3-quarter lines such as Sullivan, Bateman, Devereux, Davis, you must give them the ball and you must expect them to run with it.
Handling errors 9 by Wales and 11 by France so far. Well, not long left to add to any of the tallies, any of the statistics. Bonke halted in his tracks there by Gibbs. Picked up again by Colles. Gets the pass away as well. This is the other substitute, Bane, who's come on in the last few moments. So all 8 substitutes have been used, and I think that's a fairly familiar pattern for the World Cup.
Yes, I think he's been trying out. I mean, the French realise this game is way beyond them now, but, you know, they just want a little bit of credibility, and they won't get it doing things like that.
No, they won't. It's been a disappointing showing from them, really. Just the 1 try from Torre, and that was when the Welsh seemed to stop playing for a minute.
And it's a simple ball. I mean, you can't have more chances at that. Never go without your Rolo.
Well, I think Clive Griffiths will be reasonably content with his performance. The Welsh have the ball in the hands of Harris, who scored 1 try when he bamboozled the entire French defence.
Yes, he looks pretty serious, Clive. He looks very smart in his Welsh blazer.
Yeah, here goes Jones in his Welsh jersey. But it's good to see the Welsh doing well. It's so vital for rugby league, for the future of it, that all these countries put on a credible showing. I think it's a bit tough on the South Africans, expecting them to have the same sort of quality as nations that have been playing the game much longer.
No, but it is a learning process, and like I say, you've got to enter the competition to know what it's all about.
Phillips squeezed the pass away for Ellis, who played with him, of course, at Workington last season, before moving down under. And he's able to continue, and the play does with Ayres again. Ayres still full of running. Gets it away again for Hadley. A real case of butterfingers there amongst the Welsh.
Yes, I think there's 1 or 2 tired lads now. They're moving the ball, and
a little kick to the corner. Bonke keen to run it out, and as you said, the French will be delighted to hear the final whistle now.
Just looking at 1 or 2 of these French lads here, it's taking them all the time just to get back on side. They're really struggling now.
They really could have been taken to the cleaners, and I have a feeling Western Samoa might be too good for them.
Yes, well, Western Samoa really fancy the chance, and like I've said before, it just looks like a match now between Wales and Western Samoa.
Yeah, that one comes up at Swansea on Sunday at the Vetch. We are in time added on here, and the points belong to Wales. It's been a fairly easy victory for them. 2 first-half tries from Anthony Sullivan, who went on to complete his hat-trick early in the second half, and further tries from Iestyn Harris and John Devereux have won the day against a French side which retaliated only with a try from their hooker Patrick Torre and a conversion from Frederick Bonke. A disappointing result for the French, but the Welsh go away very happy indeed. The final score here at Ninian Park: Wales 28, France 6. We'll take a short break.